Easy question, I have to say.
Yes, ganyan na ganyan yung itsura niya.
Let's do it!
What the hell? Like, it's me. And you say, oh my God.
It was like, holy beef. What is going on? Because even now, I get like speechless.
Why is it important for a beauty queen to have a good?
If you do not know how to speak your mind, you're not going to give your organization much credibility for what you're really fighting for.
Beauty queen doesn't mean perfection. Now I feel embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. So I'm not gonna go.
My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Stephen?
I have become a patent.
Ito naman yung bumaba. Sabi ko, oh my God, kasi nastabi ko ng planet Hall. Tapos pag inaangat ko, hinihila niya. So ako, angat siya. Hilan.
My travels. I love my travels.
I would just want it to be that I gave something back that made them happy.
Money or love?
Love.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to a special episode of Missosology Beauty Talks. Tonight, we are joined by our Missosology International correspondent, Amir. Hi, Amir. How are you?
Hi, Drew. I'm good. Still so sleepy, but yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Yes,
We woke
and
up early,
we are
right?
joined on this. We are joined on this special Miss Universe Prelims review and final hot picks reveal by two of our special guest panelists. First, we have the Miss International Marketing Director and the creator of Missosology's Big Five rankings, Stephen Diaz. Hi, Stephen.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and I'm glad to be back. Thank you very much, Drew. Thank you, Amir, for inviting me.
Yes, always, Stephen. And we are very happy to be joined by one of the famous pageant bloggers around the globe and Missosology Forum's homegrown talent. Let's all welcome Alvin Cebetero. Hi, Alvin.
Hi, Drew, Amir, and Stephen.
Hi,
Thank you
Alvin.
very much for inviting me. I'm so excited to talk about the preliminaries.
Yes, so without further ado, ito na. Let's start our prelims talk. But before we discuss the ladies, I want to ask you first, guys. What can you say about this year's preliminaries in terms of the production? So let's start with Alvin.
When it comes to production, I actually enjoy the preliminaries. Nothing new naman, because it's still the same thing that we see every year. The only thing that I don't like are the camera angles, because some contestants are being cut off, especially the national costume. That's one thing that I don't like. But the rest, nothing new, everything's still the same. But I enjoyed it, especially the swimsuit. There's a lot of strong candidates to swimsuit.
How about you, Stephen?
I agree with Alvin when he spoke about the camera angles, because sometimes a different country name is being revealed, but the one that is being shown on the screen is a different country. So that is something that they should work on during the finals. I hope that they are going to improve that one. I'm pretty sure they are paying attention to that flaw that they have. When it comes to the lighting, I think it's okay. It's a little bit darker, but so far so good. And I think there are some delegates who wore really wonderful gowns, but were not given we're not justified because of the lights. And I like the chemistry of 𝗪𝗧𝗖𝗛 and Demi Lee. Of course, they're both South Africans, and sometimes when they have problems, you could actually hear them helping each other. You know, if the one is lost for Q and all that. But yeah, I like the chemistry between the two MCs. And what was that? And overall it was very entertaining, and it was worth waking up early in the morning today, because it's a Saturday and usually I would wake up late, and I did it because of the preliminary.
Yes. How about Amir? My question for you, Amir. What can you say about the swimsuit sponsor this year?
Sorry, what about the
The swimsuit sponsor.
swimsuit sponsor. Actually, I like the color. I like the color
Mhm.
because it's so colorful, and But the thing is, I'm a little bit, I don't. I think the what do you call it, the cape. It's not yet. I think it's not suited for them. I mean, I enjoy
Mhm.
because it's like very flowy. But sometimes I don't think it matches the color of their skin or the matches the color of the swimwear. But
Mhm.
nonetheless, before I could comment on any side, Drew, I just like to it's worth mentioning, by the way. But despite the pandemic, the Miss Universe was able to make it. That's a big thing.
Yes.
And yes, so congratulations again to Miss Universe for having this show despite of the pandemic. And I love Zeus. I love Demi, but stuttered. and I
Okay.
lo- and the lighting is. I agree with Stephen. Sometimes it's too dark. And also, Alvin mentioned that sometimes the girl are not being captured by the camera. I think there's a change in production. I'm
Mhm.
not sure yet, but because usually, um, since 2016, 8, 17, 18, I think they already mastered the camera angles, But this time, I think it's something new production. I just guessed. There's a new production, especially the cameraman. And yeah, the stage is good. It's okay. The girls were able to do the catwalk. But yeah, I just love Demi.
Okay, we all love Demi and Zoe for sure. So now, without further ado, let's start our preliminary review, starting with the swimsuit competition. So, before we went live, I asked the three of you for your top five picks among all the girls, among the 74 girls that competed on stage. So let's start with Alvin. Alvin, could you tell us who were your five standouts in the preliminary swimsuit round?
Okay, so my top five favorite during the swimsuit competition were let me recall if I remember correctly. My number one is I forgot the list. Do
Here.
you have it? Oh, here you have it. Thank you.
I think
My
Drew.
top five
I think
favorites
Drew has
were
the top
Puerto
five.
Rico, Peru, Nepal, South Africa, and Mexico.
Mexico.
For Puerto Rico, I believe it's very clear that she's the real standout during the swimsuit competition. I mean, ang galing when it comes to performance. Peru, we have witnessed how she performed in Miss Supranational. She was stronger on that competition, but now she's even stronger in Miss Universe. For Nepal, the biggest surprise of the preliminaries, I did not expect. Amazing figure, the performance was great. I mean, enjoy Nepal on stage, and that's one thing that I really love about her. South Africa, I have mentioned before that one of my worries about South Africa is they're good in speaking, but I'm not sure how about her walk-in swimsuit and evening gown. But Natasha slapped me during the preliminaries because she did amazing, beautiful performance, and she is really coming for blood, fighting for a back-to-back. And of course, Mexico, she's fierce from the time she came out until she ended her performance.
Okay, so is it safe to say that your number one pick for the swimsuit round is Puerto Rico?
Yes, my number one is Puerto Rico.
Okay. So I have to add though, I was surprised by the body transformation of Natasha because it was different during her national competition. So kudos to Natasha and her team.
Yes.
Okay. So anything else to add, Alvin? Who aside from your top five, who are the other girls that you think did really well in the swimsuit competition?
Yes, aside from my top five, as what I've said earlier, swimsuit round was my favorite because there's a lot of strong contenders. I may include the Philippines. Rabia did very well. This is her redeeming moment during the preliminaries, I believe. Indonesia was also good. I like Ayu. I mean, she's smiling all the way, is what I have said. The personality truly stands out for me. And India, beautiful. I mean, India was super beautiful. And because of that performance, I feel like India will be back on a very high position this year. Other may say that this is a battle of the Latinas, although I believe there's a lot of strong Latinas, but I don't think Asians will let that happen because there's a lot of
Uh-huh.
strong candidates from Asia this year.
Yes. So thank you, Alvin, for those insights. Now we go to Amir. Amir, who are your top five best in prelim swimsuit?
Yes, Drew, can you please flash on the screen my top five, please?
Yes.
Okay, I have to mention I love Costa Rica. You know why? Costa Rica, India, Philippines, Mexico, and Brazil. I was just actually Costa Rica is a dark horse for me. Never had mentioned her in my it's before,
Yes.
but she's goddess when she walk in her swimwear. I love the way she smiles. She used her smile. She smile. She walk and very elegant. And yeah, I really love India, and
Mm-hmm.
I was just praying then that she gone. She,
Okay. I think Amir's internet is getting choppy. So we will go back to Amir later, but we will move forward to Stephen. So Stephen, who were your top five picks in the preliminary swimsuit?
Before I reveal my top five, I have to say first that when it comes to swimsuit, I have my own standards, and probably it is also influenced by the Miss International Beauty Pageant because I have been covering it since 2003. So when it comes to swimsuit, I usually look at the legs. Longer the legs, the better. If you are not that tall enough, if you're not blessed with height, then at least you should have the proper proportion. Your legs should look proportionately longer than your torso and and the upper part. So, and finally, the presentation, the vivaciousness on stage, the way your personality, if you are enjoying the whole thing. So, those being said, my best in swimsuit is just like Amir, is Costa Rica. And
What about Costa Rica, Stephen?
Costa Rica is definitely the wow of the night, and I was really surprised by. Well, actually, I knew that she had like an amazing body even during her national competition, but during the Miss Universe pageant, because she was not really overhyped by the fans, nobody really noticed her that much. But yeah, she delivered when it mattered the most. Miss Dominican Republic, that photo is not flattering, but during the performance itself, when she was in motion, she was perfection. So she's in the second place. On third place is Romania. Again, legs, confidence, simplicity. Everything is with her. Next is India. India is amazing. I like her quiet sexiness, if I make sense. And well, number five is Thailand. Actually, it's between Thailand or Peru, But yeah, Thailand was amazing during the presentation. I thought that swimsuit would be her weakest point or her Waterloo, but she proved me wrong, and she was like one of the best performers during the swimsuit competition. I think her team really had a very good strategy that she really just zoomed up there during the time when it really matters the most.
Other names in mind aside from your top
In my
five?
top 10, actually, I have Venezuela, I have Philippines, Nepal. Actually, I agree with Alvin. Nepal is one of those who really stood out during the swimsuit competition. Like I said, Peru as well. Brazil, yeah, another standout in swimsuit. And who else? Gosh, like it's Colombia probably.
Yes.
The Latinas.
I knew you would say Colombia. You were raving about her earlier.
Yeah, Colombia. There has been a very bad publicity about her, but Laura is a contender. She is representing her country, and setting aside all those negative publicity about her and the way she was selected, I think she did really well in the competition, and we should give credit where credit is due. And Laura is amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Now we go back to Amir. Amir, you're back. So earlier you were talking about Costa Rica and India before you were cut off. So what can you say about your other choices?
Where I am now, Drew, I am with
Your
Philippines.
Philippines.
Okay, you know what? You cannot deny Philippines is one of the most prettiest faces in this time of Miss Universe candidates. I love the way first the color choice of her swimwear is so good for me. I think she did a great job with that, the color choice, because as far as I remember, during the Miss Universe Philippines, she was also wearing yellow color, right?
Yes.
And it really suits in her, the color. And I also like the way she walked. She smiles. She's so confident enough, correct enough yet that she won the best in swimsuit during the Miss Universe Philippines. And also, I have here Mexico. I don't know, but I always have the gut feeling about Mexico that I really like her. There's something about her that I like, Mexico. To me, she seems to, very, sexy with the way she walks. She's so sexy, and she carried well the swimwear. And also the other one is this one. Drew is Brazil. Brazil was never in my list before, but she made me surprised because she did well in swimwear. The body is sexy. Oh, by the way, I love her body. She's so sexy.
Okay, so aside from this five, Amir, who are the other girls that
Yeah, I
you
agree
thought
with.
did really well?
Yeah, I think I agree with Nepal. How do you know how you called it? Parang
The
palaban kasi
twirl.
yung
Ah,
buhok niya.
the hair flip.
I don't know how you express it, but yeah, I agree. I love her. Her body is so proportionate for me, and she's so sexy. Nepal for me is dark horse. I also like Thailand. Thailand really did well in her swimwear. I've always said this, Drew. There are a few times when I said Thailand is maybe tired, but I believe she's preparing her energy comes preliminary and finals.
Ah, she was saving her energy.
She was saving
I
her
agree.
energy.
Okay. So now it's time for my swimsuit picks. So my top five for the swimsuit competition were Costa Rica #1. Oh no, this is for Stephen.
That's mine.
Yeah. Costa Rica is #1. #2 for me is India. #3 is the Philippines. #4 is Brazil. And #5 is Peru. So Costa Rica, Stephen has already mentioned the perfect body proportions. I think she had the best body among all the 74 candidates. Costa Rica joined Miss Costa Rica 3 times before she became Miss Costa Rica Universe and went to Miss Universe. So she is hungry for this competition, for this moment, and she milked every second of that swimsuit competition. She didn't have to do any other things. She didn't have to overdo her walk, her twirl, just the presence in the body. I could give her a 10. Next for me is India. If there's a if there's a score for of the face in the swimsuit competition, I'd give it to India. At first, I was looking at her beautiful face, but when the camera zoomed out and showed her walk and her body, I must say India was a winner that night. Okay, in third place is the Philippines. I think the swimsuit competition is Rabia's strongest suit in the preliminaries. Some might say otherwise, but I really think that Rabia's transformation from a very sweet girl in Miss Universe Philippines to a fierce and confident, empowered Filipina in Miss Universe, that was very commendable. And tingnan nyo naman, ang ganda-ganda ng katawan niya during Miss Universe. In fourth place for me is Miss Brazil. Miss Brazil was also not on my radar, just like Amir, but she wowed me. I wasn't a fan of the cosmetic surgery that she has done before Miss Universe because I thought that I really liked her in Miss World, but she was phenomenal during the preliminary night. The walk, the body, everything was perfect. And finally, for me, The girl who knows when to peak is Miss Peru. Miss Peru was bashed. She was even told to wake up by the fans when they thought that she was sleeping in the competition. But when she went out in that yellow swimwear, it was like Miss Supranational 2019, but 10 times better. Peru was perfect, perfect, perfect. She zoomed to the top of my list once again after that performance. So basically, that's my top top five for swimwear. Aside from that, I also have in my list Nepal. I also have Mexico. And another surprise for me in the swimwear competition, I don't know if you guys would agree, Great Britain. So that's my swimwear list. So I think we would all agree that Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, and Peru were some of the best. Okay, so now we move forward to the second round of the preliminaries, which is this evening gown competition. And we will start with the picks of Stephen. So, Stephen, who are your top five girls in the evening gown competition? And
Evening gown competition.
before that, please tell us what were your considerations in picking your top for the evening gown.
For the evening gown, usually, cliche as it may sound, usually it's basically not about the gown, but it's about the overall projection of how you actually carry it, and if the gown fits your personality as well. No matter how beautiful the gown is, if it doesn't suit your personality, if it doesn't make you glow on stage, and no matter how expensive it is, it won't it won't help you at all. So there were so many beautiful evening gowns, but come on, let's admit it. For the past how many years, 5 or 6 years now, the winner of Miss Universe changed their evening gown during the actual final night. So
That's true.
does it even matter to discuss about the evening gown? I would say no. But for the sake of discussing, let's just discuss the ones that they wore during the preliminary. And these are the girls who actually impressed me. Number one is Thailand. Beautiful gown. She might change her evening gown during the finals. She may not change the evening gown. We don't know. It's always, it always depends on the strategy of the organization or of the girl herself. Then I had India. I had Costa Rica again. Why am I having Costa Rica? I became a fan of Costa Rica suddenly. And Peru, oh wow. That presentation is perfection. And Romania. Very simple, but the beauty, the glow is there. These five were the ones who actually impressed me the most during the evening gown presentation. But then again, who knows if they're going to wear the same gown or not. And why do I have Amir's and Alvin's face?
Oh my God. There was a technical difficulty.
But anyway, those were the best in evening gown in the preliminaries. But once again, I would like to stress again to our viewers that we still don't know whether these ladies or the delegates would be changing their evening gowns or not, because again, all of the winners, if I could remember, since Pia Words back, they have been changing their evening gowns from the preliminary to the finals. So,
okay.
Okay,
so next one, let's have Amir. Amir, who were the five girls in the evening gown round that struck you the most? You're on mute.
Can you please flash on the screen right now, please? I think my first was Thailand, if I'm not mistaken.
Your first one is Puerto Rico and Thailand.
Rico. Oh, sorry. Puerto Rico. Okay, why Puerto Rico? The color of her gown is unique. The way she carried it during the time she walked, she poses so very sophisticated for me. I love her styling. I love her looks. I love the way she carried the gown. So I love it. I love the gown. So unique. She looked like a goddess from Egypt.
Greek goddess.
She looked like a Greek goddess.
Yes. And what about Thailand? Thailand, She was so calm, poised, and elegant. I see that in her. And the gown, I think it's so expensive. It looks expensive for me. And what
That's why
about
she's my
Romania?
number one.
Yeah, okay. Romania. Romania was just so
Mhm.
full.
Okay.
Hello?
I think there,
Drew,
there
can you hear me
you're
now?
back. I
I'm
can hear you
sorry.
now.
So where are we now? Romania.
You're
Okay,
with
so in
Romania.
Romania. Okay, Romania. She's so sophisticated. She gave me a very solid performance. That's it. The gown is
Mhm.
not not so not the gown that I expect from Michael Cinco, but the thing is it's the best gown for me, for her. Okay, what about next? Costa Rica. Oh, no need to explain. The gown simply showed up how sexy she was during the segment for evening gown. I
Mhm.
love her walk. I love the way she projects. That's something that impressed me about Costa Rica and also India. India gave me a very solid performance. Her gown is not the best among the Miss Universe India gowns been worn ever since before, but you cannot deny the face of Miss India. It
Yes.
brings so much joy, sophistication, class, and elegance. That's it. That's why I love India. And I have also actually in my list, Drew. Drew,
Mhm.
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, okay. I was just thinking that you can guys hear me now. Now, what I like about other candidates rather, I was actually also have. I'm checking now, right? Because you only have my five on my list,
Mhm.
but I have other candidates here right now who give me a wow factor during the evening gown. I like Curacao.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like Curaçao's
She's,
evening
she's number
gown.
6 or 7 on my list, Amir. Miss
Yeah,
Curacao.
and this is something different, Drew, because I know some of the audience has a lot of not so good comment about Miss Philippines evening gown. But actually, when I saw the evening gown of Philippines in some of the photos, videos, in videos that is near to the stage, I really appreciate the evening gown. It just so happened that her styling is not that perfect for me. I think they can do better than that. But the details of the gown, if you try to see the details of the gown of Miss Philippines Rabia, I love it. I love it. But I think she can have more better styling with her, hairstyling. But nonetheless, she did well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Amir. And now, before we go to Alvin, I'll just share quickly my top five for the evening gown. So my top five were India, Thailand, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, and Romania. Basically, almost the same girls that the two other before me have mentioned. India was elegance personified. The face, the dress, the walk, winner. Thailand, okay, I was half-hearted at first if Thailand was going to give a really good prelim show because we thought that she was losing her momentum when she arrived in Florida. But when she walked out in this two-piece and gown, it was perfection. Okay, Puerto Rico. What caught my eye? My green is my favorite color, and I love what she did when she twirled and then she walked on in the middle of the stage, did her posing. That was very professional. And then Costa Rica, no need to say anything. She's queenly. And lastly, Romania. Romania was my favorite in Miss Supranational. She was also my favorite in Miss International. She gave me the same feels during the evening gown prelims. I think Romania is the best European candidate this year. And now we go to Alvin.
Drew,
So
but before
Alvin,
you go,
you
Drew, I observed that we have the same top five in different order.
yeah, actually. And now, let's go to Alvin. Alvin, who are your top five girls in the evening gown? So I'm
Okay,
flashing it now.
yeah. I'm just actually checking my notes here because for my number 5, I'm actually torn between three ladies. I at number 5 I
Mhm.
have between Jamaica, Vietnam, and Peru. But I decided to pick Peru, although I really love Jamaica very much. And Vietnam as well was a complete surprise in the evening gown competition. I will start from my number 5 to number 1. And those who did not make it in my top 5. Nepal was also a surprise. India was very, very beautiful in the evening gown, but I wish there's a little more push because I think it could have been better. But everything else is magical about India. Brazil was also good. I put Janique at number 5 because, of course, strong contender, face wise, and the way she carried the gown and the way the gown was made that she chose beautiful. And when it comes to the evening gown performances, I think the gown matters a little bit because based on what I believe in, I feel like IMG will not crown someone who looks unprepared. They will be
Mhm.
crowning someone who looks like a real Miss Universe, which is why I feel like the gown still matters very much. My number 4 is South Africa. Not whether you like it or you hate it, Natasha carried that gown very, very well. And I intentionally wore blue today as my tribute to South Africa because that was my number 1 favorite gown during the preliminaries. I love that gown. It's serving us that 1950s Hollywood glamour. I love that gown very, very much. And just for everyone as well who are watching who wasn't able to watch Werner's live earlier, Werner, the creative director of Miss South Africa, he mentioned that Natasha is going to wear 2 evening gowns. And if Natasha makes it in the top 10, she will be wearing a gown that Werner loved very, very much. And that excites me. That actually
Mhm.
made me realize maybe Natasha could even pull a top 5. So that's why I am rooting for South Africa, and I still believe that a back to back is possible. My number 3 is Indonesia. I applaud women who wear green gowns because I feel like green is very, very risky unless you wear it with so much confidence and unless the gown is made beautifully. And I think Ayu did carry that gown very, very well. She was super confident. She's a model, so obviously she carried that gown with so much sophistication and sass as well. So kudos to her. My number 2 is Thailand. I have to admit I don't like her gown. I don't like Thailand's gown, but with the history that we're seeing in this universe, I feel like Amanda is still going to change gown. But the main reason why I placed her at number 2 is performance,
Mhm.
personality, and the confidence in carrying the gown. And I think that's what Amanda showed to us during the preliminaries. She was so good, and that convinced me even more that I don't like the gown, but she convinced me based on her performance. So I asked myself, imagine if she will be wearing a gown that I will love if she enters the top 10. So I think she will be even higher in this ranking, which is number 1. But my number 1 is Puerto Rico. I mean, wow. She's my number 1 in swimsuit. She's also my number 1 in evening gown because, of course, the way she twirl in that gown, amazing. And I have nothing else to say. That was super, super beautiful. Undoubtedly, the best evening on performance during the preliminaries. After the preliminaries, after watching Puerto Rico, right after Puerto Rico's performance, I immediately told myself, this is my number 1. Best evening on performance, even if I haven't seen the ladies
Undoubtedly,
after her. I already told myself Puerto Rico will be my best evening on performance.
Yes. So thank you, Alvin, for your insights.
You
Love
know
it,
what?
love
When
it.
you're listening to Alvin, it seems like I'm also watching one of his YouTube videos.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, am I watching his video or am I on live right now?
Okay. So now, before we reveal our personal top 5, I've already accidentally showed mine earlier.
So you
But
should do the honor, Drew, because you're the
yeah,
first.
but before we reveal our personal top 5, I just want to ask the three of you, who do you think were one, the best girls in the preliminaries, and two, the girls who could have given a better performance? Start with Alvin.
Obviously, I mean, the best woman in the preliminaries for me as of the moment. Am I only going to name one?
Yeah, just one
Yeah,
best,
Puerto
and then
Rico. for sure.
Okay.
And for the lady that I think could have done better, I will. I don't want to use the word disappointed because disappointed is a strong word. But I feel like if she only gave a performance that satisfies the view, us who are watching, I think she could make it. And that woman to me is Chile. She was my
Mhm.
favorite even before. And I was shocked after watching her preliminaries. It broke my heart, to be honest, because I really, really wanted Chile to place this year. I wanted to be hopeful, but I'm not sure.
Mhm. One other girl, aside from Chile, who could have
Um,
done better.
Philippines. I will mention
Okay.
that specifically on the evening gown. I know that Rabia wanted to wear yellow to complete the trio of our Philippine flag color. I appreciate yellow. I love yellow. As what you have said, yellow is a color of joy and celebration. I do agree with that. But I feel like they could have done better. And here's the thing. If Rabia makes it in the top 10, which I am hoping would happen, and if they will change her gown, and I mean a really, really good gown, because there's really no question about Rabia's walk, personality, and aura, it's already there. If they will change her gown, if she makes it in the top 10, I have a feeling that she will enter the top 5. No doubt.
Okay. Thank you, Alvin. How about you, Amir? Your number one girl in the prelims and two girls that you think could have done better.
Joe, I have for my number one. Let me explain first. I have a
Okay.
personal choice, and I have the gut feeling choice.
Okay.
My personal choice
No, no,
is
just your personal choice in the
my
prelims.
personal choice definitely on the preliminary competition based on the swimwear and the evening gown.
Yes.
Um, in India, Mexico or India.
You're torn between the two. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I think my gut feel would always tells me that Puerto Rico is really
Okay.
shining all through.
So I asked you for one, you gave me three.
No, the one I told you is my gut about my gut feeling.
Okay. How about two other girls that you think could have done better in the prelims?
Could have done better. Um, I agree with Alvin Chile because I
Mhm.
see I always look at her and she always looks pretty in all the pictures, the photo shoots, the videos. But I think she could have done it better, especially her catwalk.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Chile, I guess.
And one more.
One more. I remember the other girl. I think it should supposed to be Colombia. I don't know, but
Mhm.
I see some, and I don't see some wow factor from her. I think maybe the change of her styling. I don't know, but she did well actually. But I think she could do better. She could do more.
Okay. Thank you, Amir. How about you, Stephen? You're number one in the prelims. I think I already know who she is, and two girls that you think could have done better.
During the preliminary competition, definitely the one who was really the best in both the evening gown and the swimsuit competition was Costa Rica. I don't even need to explain that one. But again, we have to also factor out the fact that these girls were already interviewed before the preliminary judging. So sometimes the judges would already formulate a conclusion regardless of their performance on stage. So,
Yes.
and we didn't know what actually happened during the interview competition, during the interview judging. So maybe, there's something there that would make the judge vote for her or give her a higher score, regardless of her performance. But if it's just the swimsuit and the evening gown performance alone, it was Costa Rica who was the best performer during the preliminary competition.
And the two girls who could have done better.
The two girls who could have done better, and I wish they really did better. And you know that, Drew, Bolivia. I really love Lenka.
Yes.
I am a huge
Mhm.
fan of Miss Bolivia even before the pageant started. And my BRA right? My Bolivia, Romania, and Australia
Yeah,
combination,
Australia.
right? So it was quite disappointing, but I really hope, one thing that I'm really hoping is that during the preliminary interview, she already captured the heart of the judges so that the preliminary competition wouldn't matter. They would still give her high score because they would love her for her personality, which is the thing that I really like about Lenka, her personality. And the other one that I wish should have performed better is the A in my bra. Australia. so it's B, Bolivia, and then A, Australia. Australia, unfortunately, I don't know. She just, I think probably because she was one of the first girl to perform, and then she just suddenly drowned among the stream of taller and more statuesque contestants. But Australia, again, this is one woman who could actually easily capture the heart of the judges. And again, I would say it that the preliminary interview happened before the evening gown. So maybe the judges have already set up their mind and would give her a high score nevertheless. So this is one thing that our viewers should also remember, because no matter how great your performance is in the preliminaries, if during the interview competition you have already invested bad bad vibes towards the judges, no matter how great you are on stage, you wouldn't get good scores. You wouldn't get the vote of the judges. But if you have already registered positive vibes and positive connections to the judges, and I'm speaking from a point of view of an organizer myself, because no matter how great your performance is on stage, if we already knew that you're someone who is really very hard to work with, we wouldn't let you in the top 15 because who knows, you might win, and we don't want, the organization doesn't want to work with someone who is a pain in the ass.
Attitude, kumbaga.
Attitude matters.
Yes. Okay, so now I'll make this quick. My number one in the preliminary evening gown and swimsuit competition is India. I've already mentioned my reasons earlier. You can guys just rewind. And then two girls that I think could have done better. Number one is Australia. Australia is one of my favorites. I like the way she talks. I like her personality, but I found her performance underwhelming. She was bouncy in the swimsuit, and then I think she did better in the evening gown. But I do hope that she impressed the judges in the interviews because I want to see her place and make history for Australia. And then another girl that I think could have done better. I'm torn between Bolivia. Okay, I'll just say Bolivia. I don't want to mention the other girl. Okay, Bolivia. As I like Stephen, I also love Bolivia, her personality. Just trivia, guys. When we interviewed the 3 Miss Bolivia queens for Beauty Talks, Lenka was our interpreter for Miss International Bolivia and Miss World Bolivia. She was that gracious and she was that kind to do the interpreting and talking the whole 1.5 hour. She was a good person, and I thought she did really good in the swimsuit. She reminded me of Gazzini for some seconds, but the evening gown and the evening gown performance and the evening gown choice, I'm not really sure. Okay, so that's it. And before we part this segment, guys, other girls that you think naman were the surprises of the night, aside from all the other girls that we mentioned. Alvin.
Surprises of the night. I have my notes here. I'm not sure. Oh wait, I'm so thankful that you asked me that. I don't know what you think about Poland because I think she did well in both rounds.
Yes.
I honestly think that's why I'm really wondering why is no one talking about Poland? She was solid in both rounds. She's actually got a great backstory, and she's also quite a good speaker as well. So I think she will be in my final prediction, but I think she really did well.
I have to add, Alvin, she walked after Peru and Philippines, so that was a tall order for her to stand out, and she
Exactly.
did well.
And she was able to stand out still. At least for me, she was really good.
Stephen.
What? A surprise? Like a...
Yes. The girl who surprised you.
Well, to be honest, Costa Rica...
Aside from Costa Rica.
Yeah, because Miss Costa Rica really surprised me, and she just zoomed way up there. You know, I wasn't really expecting much from Miss Costa Rica, but she was really the biggest revelation of the night. But if aside from her, let me think. Well, probably Nepal.
Nepal.
Maybe I would say Nepal, and also Canada, because a lot of negative things were said against Nova actually, but on stage she was actually very what do you call it, likable, you know, like she wasn't overdoing it, and I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing because she's also a model and she's very tall. She's like, you know, a mannequin on stage, and beautiful skin, you know, shining, and that's why that's one thing that I really like about her. She's actually in the top 10 of my evening gown. No, swimsuit, evening gown. Evening gown. Once she makes it into the top 10, she'll probably make it into the top 5. I don't know. Again, like I said, the interview would matter a lot, you know, because these are the same sets of judges who judge them in their personality interview and in the preliminaries and also in the finals. Unlike in the Miss Universe editions before, wherein we have a separate set of judges, and now it's just almost the same people who are judging these young women. So yeah, I think that's the answer.
Yeah. Before I ask Amir, I'll do my quick picks for the surprises. Number 1 is Myanmar. Despite losing her luggage and having a replacement gown, she stood out for me. It's the face, serving face the whole night. Myanmar. I won't be surprised if she makes it. And another one, Nicaragua. Nicaragua is always in the middle of the list, but cannot always penetrate there. But I think Nicaragua did a really spectacular job.
Miss Nicaragua. Remember, Drew, Miss Nicaragua is always the one that I've mistaken as Miss Mexico.
Yes.
You know, give her the Mexico sash, probably she would win.
Yeah. I mentioned the 2 because of the face. I still remember the faces even up to now after a few hours of watching. Oh, now Amir, your surprises, the girls that surprise you.
Actually, aside from Brazil, and I also like. I mean, it was a surprise for me to see Nicaragua performing very great job in both rounds, swimwear and evening gown, and also I think Cameroon.
Oh yes, Cameroon.
Yes, Cameroon.
Yeah, Cameroon. I think she did well in both rounds. Especially, I love her on her evening gown, and it's actually a testament that's why she was also part of the Miss Earth, top candidates for Miss Earth before, because
she was a semi-finalist in Miss Earth and also in Miss Supranational.
Yeah, she's actually a performer, Trinidad and Tobago. And yeah, you mentioned Drew Nicaragua. I was a bit surprised with Nicaragua.
Okay.
She did really great job in both rounds.
Yes. Okay, so now we will now reveal our personal top 5 or final 5 for the 4 of us, so each of the 4 of us. We want to make this clear though that we are not predicting who's gonna win from our 5. These are just the 5 girls that we think could win on Sunday or Monday here in the Philippines. So when it's your turn, guys, please explain briefly what were your considerations in coming up with this top 5. So I'll do mine first. So my final 5 are India, Peru, Philippines, Mexico, and Thailand. So what are my considerations? Well, aside from the preliminary evening gown and swimsuit competitions, my consideration also is interviews. And the only way for me to know these girls is during the Beauty Talk series of Missosology. And we interviewed these 5 girls. These 5 girls did an amazing job during our Beauty Talk series. I also love their up close and personal videos. But what I like about these five girls, uh, their backstory. In India is a COVID survivor, and if ever she wins, that's gonna be a really good starting point for Miss Universe to stay relevant in the middle of the pandemic. Peru is an engineer. She works in a male dominated industry, and she's also a pageant veteran. And she's a veteran, even though she doesn't want to be called a veteran. And I think I see it in her, the IMG prototype, the Demi, the Iris, the Catriona, and the Zozy combined. I see that in her. Maybe because she's already a New Yorker. That's why she already imbibed that IMG attitude. Okay. Philippines, a lot might raise their eyebrows on this, but I think Philippines is still one of the strongest competitors we have. In case she changes her gown, I think she will zoom to the top. Mexico is another veteran. We already saw her perform in Miss World, and I think she's the force to reckon with in the competition. And finally, Thailand. No other words. Thailand is one of the best candidates. You can say what you want to say about her, but she is one of the best. That's it. Okay, the next one to reveal the top five is Amir. Amir, who are your top five favorites? Amir, are you there? Okay, I think we lost Amir again. So let's have Alvin. So Alvin, I
Yes.
know you said that this isn't your final five, but who were the five girls that you think are gonna win this universe?
Yes. This is not my final prediction yet because I'm still working on my final five. But after the preliminaries, these are the five ladies that really stick into my mind. So this is in random order. M- I have Thailand, especially with the new format. I believe this will work in her favor. And with the preparation of Thailand, I think she will really do very, very well, especially with the performance that we saw during the preliminary. Next is India. I really, really love India. My sentimental favorite to win is actually India. So I am so thankful that she delivered. I am so thankful that all the hype that I have given her, that we have given her, is all worth it because she managed to deliver a solid performance. I also love Puerto Rico. I have said earlier, she dominated both rounds of the competition. She is a strong speaker as well. South Africa, I am still holding on to that possibility of a back to back. And another sentimental favorite of mine is Jamaica. I really, really love
Mhm.
Jamaica. I have interviewed her as well, and she is so beautiful. I mean, I'm so, so happy. I was literally screaming when she came out during the swimsuit and evening gown because I am so thankful that she nailed both rounds of the competition as well. So, as of this time, these are my top five. This could still change because I'll be releasing my final prediction tomorrow. But as of this time, here they are. Thank you.
Yes. So Alvin, do the promotion for their final picks for tomorrow.
Yes, for my
In-
personal final prediction, yeah, for my final prediction, it will be available on my YouTube channel, Alvin Sabatero. And for others who are watching, you know where to go. Thank you.
yes, Alvin from the Philippines. That's a very iconic intro, Alvin. Okay, we're back with Amir. Amir, who are your top five for Miss Universe? Amir, are you there?
Okay, can you please flash on the screen draw my top five favorites? This is our in random order. No, so first I have Mexico. Mexico since the beginning of since the beginning of the competition, I always admire her. By the way, what one factor that I considered about my top five is because we have the chance to so
Yes, Amir.
somehow I consider the conversation that we have that because they are doing so well during the Q&A. Mexico was always my sentimental favorite. You know that, Drew.
Yes,
I
I
always
know.
like her, especially especially when we had her on our Q&A interview with Missosology Beauty Talks. I like everything about her. and you cannot deny that her experience in Miss World will bring her up there. And also India, India. Before I had a doubt with her beauty, but when I saw her during the live interview, Missosology Beauty Talks, I love the way she speak, the way she and she did well in the preliminary competition. She's so pretty. I love her beauty. I really, really love her beauty. Philippines, oh guys, no more question for Philippines. No bias at all, but I really love Rabia. I always know Rabia for being a fighter. I know Rabia could do well. If she will enter the top 21, it will hopefully, God willing, it will continue out to top 5. And I believe on Rabia. I really believe in her because I have seen her her hard work. I know how she's so hardworking, and I love her personality. Very charismatic and relatable. And Romania, from her records, she's a winner of Miss International, runner-up from Miss International, and a runner-up from Supranational. With that, period. And aside from that, Drew, we also have the opportunity to be with her in our Miss Holy Beauty Talks. I love her personality. I really, really love her personality. She's such a very humble woman. I love her. A woman. Thailand. What about Amanda? I've always had the feeling that Amanda is somehow like Catriona, like what other people said. But for me, there's nothing wrong with that. Catriona is Miss.
Yes, Amir? I think you got cut off again. Catriona
But
is Amir, you
Amanda, during the
got cut
time
off
of Miss
earlier.
Universe Thailand, I always like her. She did great job on her presentation. I love her looks, her beauty. So that's my top 5, and I'm actually doing some changes about this now.
Okay, I think we lost Amir again. So thank you, Amir, for your top 5 picks. And now we have the most awaited picks.
Why is it the most awaited?
Samurai's list, the the fearless forecast that you're gonna fear. Stephen, your top 5.
My top 5. Number 1 is India. Um, do I need to explain? I think Drew, you already expounded the reason why India is number 1 on my list. I think this is one of the rare times where Drew and I actually agreed on our number 1. And primarily because, I think it's really time for the Miss Universe organization to recognize India. It's been a long time that we haven't seen them speak. It's been a long time that we haven't seen them answering a final Q&A. When was the last time that thing happened? I think that was in 2002. So I think it's about time to, once again, no, it's not. It's 2001 was the last time that we saw them actually answer a final Q&A. And now it's 2021. It's been 20 years. So I really miss that moment when we could see a Miss India answering a final question.
Yes.
And literally giving the other finalists a nervous breakdown. Because when Miss India speaks, the earth stops, and that's how I was. That was me growing up in the 1990s when I was watching Miss Universe, and with several Miss Indias making it to the top 3 or top 6. They're just so philosophical. Their train of thoughts are well thought of, And even with the interview with Miss India, which you, Drew, and Amir did, I wasn't there when you interviewed her, but she's really very well spoken. She could actually answer questions that even me myself could not just easily process. I was just processing my thoughts when you were asking her questions, but she already managed to answer, difficult questions. So once India makes it into the top 5, it's game over. Number 2 is Thailand, primarily because she is one of the most prepared and one of the most well-supported delegates this year. And you know, when tremendous support is with you, the pressure is there, but sometimes it's also a good thing, you know, because you are bound to perform well. And then the Miss Universe organization also recognizes that, and they acknowledge that, you know, the seriousness that your organization puts in, or the investment, the emotional investment that you put into your delegate. So I think Thailand is going to go up there. For as long as she doesn't mess up with her Q&A. And you know, we've had Thailand as our number 1 hot picks twice already, but both of the delegates blew their top 5 Q&A. That's the reason why they didn't proceed into the top 3, and that's really very disappointing. And I hope that this doesn't happen with Amanda. Romania is my number 3, primarily because I know this woman. You know, I remember when we did our Missosology Beauty Talks, the first episode, it was her. And even though she was in a very difficult situation that time, her luggage was lost, but still, she
Showed up
she showed up. Yes, she showed up. She honored her words, and then even though she
without
didn't have her
makeup.
makeup, she didn't have anything prepared. She just like, you know, let's do this because she promised to be there, and that's really very admirable for her, you know. And she's a very young woman, a very young but very mature as well, and very responsible. So I think if the crown goes back to Europe, and hopefully an Eastern European is finally gonna win the crown, I hope it's gonna be Bianca.
Mhm.
And Cameroon is in my top 5. Actually, I'm torn between Cameroon or Jamaica. But if there's one country, if there's one thing that IMG has failed to do so far, is to actually recognize or acknowledge a country who joined for the very first time. When Donald Trump took the Miss Universe ownership in 1997, 2 years later, a country, Botswana, won the crown, and that sent a very positive message to the other countries, because even though it's your first time to join it, even though you are minority, like, you know, and not a major country, you could still win the pageant. And I've also noticed with IMG, they haven't crowned a country that hasn't won the title yet.
Yes.
No, it has always been a country that has already won the title before. Again, going back to Trump, for example, Trump's time, Botswana won, and then we have Russia winning, we had Dominican Republic winning for the first time. You know, these countries winning for the very first time actually gives boost as well to the other countries who are trying to do well in their own respective countries, you know. So hopefully we'll be seeing more diversity in the winners list of Miss Universe, not just, you know, almost the same countries being recognized, because I have seen so many girls as well who have invested a lot in preparing for this pageant, but they are not being recognized because they have a very poor sash weight.
Yes.
And Costa Rica, well, no need to explain. She was the bomb. She's amazing, and hard work pays off. You know, joining your national pageant 3 times and finally winning it. You know, you come prepared during the international pageant.
Thank you, Stephen, for your top 5 choices for Miss Universe. And before we end the discussion, one last question: the dark horse of the competition. So let's start with me. I think the dark horse of the competition is Great Britain. I think she's a good speaker. She's a star. She's a singer. You know, Stephen, how much I love beauty queens who are singers. And I think Great Britain, if given the right platform and the exposure in Miss Universe, she will do well. Amir, your dark horse.
My dark horse. I think it's Nepal. And Lao also drew Lao. I love the beauty of Lao and Nepal. I think that's my dark horse. Nepal because actually I see her in top 10. I see her. She could make it to top 10, but I'm not sure if she can make it to top 5. But nonetheless, I really love her to see her in top 10.
Okay. Stephen, your dark horse.
Is Australia considered a dark horse?
Who?
Australia?
No, she's a
No,
front
because she was
runner.
like, yeah, she was one of those talked about delegate prior to the arrival, right? So if it's really dark horse, as in dark horse, then I would agree with Amir. It's Nepal.
Nepal.
Nepal is the dark horse.
Yeah. And finally, Alvin, who's looking at his notes.
Yeah.
Who is
Maybe he
is
has a
or
dark,
are.
maybe Alvin has a dark horse, a darker horse, and the darkest horse.
Yeah. Alvin,
Actually,
your dark horse
I
is
actually
in the
I would love to say
competition.
Nepal as well. However, I'd like to change it a little bit. I would say Jamaica, because even if many people considered her performance really strong, I feel like she is not getting the attention and recognition that she deserves. So I would say Jamaica.
Okay. So thank you guys for joining us on this wonderful Miss Universe preliminary review and discussion. But now it is time for the much awaited big reveal of Missosology's 69th Miss Universe final hot picks. This is the first time that we are going to reveal the hot picks live. So please bear with us. But before we discuss our top 10, the Missosology's top 10, I just wanted to tell you all guys that as a tradition, Missosology has consolidated the entries of our resident pageant experts and seasoned correspondents about the overall impression for this year's Miss Universe. So it's not just about the preliminaries, but it's about the overall impression of Missosology's pool of experts and correspondents this year. And truth be told, there was no unanimous decision when it comes to the selection on who will be the number one in our final hot picks. So this is a clear indication of how intense the competition is. So now I would like to reveal to you the girls who made it to our 11 to 21st places. So they are, on the 21st place, we have Miss Finland. Miss Finland, Vivi Altonen. And in 20th place, we have Miss Bolivia, Lenka Nemer. In 19th place, we have Canada, Nova Stevens. In 18th place, we have South Africa, Natasha Yuber.
Wow.
In 17th place, Curacao, Chantal Wires. I hope I mentioned it correctly. In 16th place, Colombia, Laura Olascuaga. In 15th place, Ana Marcelo of Nicaragua. In 14th place is Miss Cameroon, Angelique Lucinda. In 13th place, Anshika Sharma of Nepal. In 12th place is the host delegate, Asia branch of the USA. And in 11th spot is the lovely Mariangel Villasmel of Venezuela. And now it is time to reveal our top 10. So Amir,
Okay, Drew,
who are part of our top 10?
okay, finally, our top 10. Number 10 starts with Jamaica, Michael Simon Williams. Michael Simon Williams of Jamaica could easily put Jamaica into the game with her wit, charm, and personality. Jamaica had numerous titles at Miss World, yet it remains crownless at Miss Universe. We would love to see a winner from country that has yet to win the Miss Universe crown, and I believe Michael Simon could be the Jamaica's first.
Okay. The ninth place.
On the ninth list, it's Costa Rica's Yvonne Cerdas. Yvonne Cerdas is the biggest surprise of the prelims. It took her 3 tries before finally making it to Miss Universe, so her hunger for the moment was evident. She was on point in both rounds, swimsuit and evening gown, and we expect her also to do that in a closer interview, based on their past interviews. On the 8th place, Drew, is Brazil. Brazil, Juliana's Gama is the ball of the sunshine in the competition. Very friendly and bubbly. Her radiant personality is just shining throughout the preliminaries. But beyond that, this Miss Brazil knows exactly how to work it when matters the most. Overall, we believe that Julia is one of the main contenders from the Americas.
Okay. Number
And
seven.
Number 7 is my sentimental favorite. That is Andrea Meza of Mexico. Andrea Meza of Mexico has finally showcased her improvement in the communication skills because witnessing it in the Missosology Beauty Talks, talking actively about her advocacy against street harassment. But in the prelims, she has proven that it is a force to reckon within the two segments of the competition. She's intelligent, full of class, and her beauty won the hearts of many. Mexico's quest for this third crown is a relentless annual pursuit. So I think everyone should keep an eye for Andrea, my ultimate sentimental favorite, Andrea.
Okay, and in the sixth spot, come here, 6. Number 6 is
Number 6 is also my gut feeling choice, Puerto Rico. So Stefania Soto of Puerto Rico, who will continue to keep the Puerto Rican momentum that they regained in 2018 after several years of failing to make it the first cut. Estefania has a beautiful face and statue figure, but her main strength is the fact that she's very comfortable to speak in English while in public. We always trust the Puerto Rican ladies to deliver when it is really matters, when it really matters. And Estefania is a proof that Puerto Rico is indeed a powerhouse of Miss Universe. And that is my gut feeling choice number 1, Puerto Rico.
okay, bitinin muna natin ng konti. Alvin, what can you say about Missosology's pick so far? Are you surprised?
I'm actually surprised for South Africa.
Mhm.
Medyo
I
mababa.
Yeah, I think she was placed too low. I mean, I'm just saying that simply because she's in my top 5, but it's more on my personal list anyway. But of course, I respect everyone's decision. I mean, the way you root for your candidate is the way we root for our candidate as well. The way I root for my candidate. So for not only for especially to the people who are watching us right now, kung gaano kayo sumuporta sa inyong candidate, that's how we push for our favorite as well. So that's why I don't understand the disrespectful behavior towards other people's opinion. Because if you're fighting for your favorite, we're also fighting for our favorite. But let's just
Yes.
respect each other's opinion. I respect
Yes,
your list,
yes,
but of
yes, yes.
course, I feel sad for some of my favorites that are a little bit low, but it's okay. And this is the best thing about prediction. Kasi if it's too predictable, boring naman ang pageant. That's
Tama,
why this is not
tama.
predictable, and that makes this that makes this fun. So thank you. I enjoyed your list. It made me
Actually,
think as well.
Actually, Alvin, that's all. We know that Miss Universe is never boring. Even though we predict the actual outcome, it's never boring. But here's the thing: with Miss International, we know that the pageant is boring, but you cannot predict the result. That's the reason why it is not boring, because you
Yes,
just the actual result.
Okay,
yes.
now, before we proceed to the top 5 of Missosology's final hot picks, let's have a quick recap. So number 10 is Miss Jamaica, Michael Simon Williams. Number 9 is Costa Rica, Yvonne Sargas. Number 8 is Brazil, Julia Gama. Number 7 is Mexico, Andrea Mesa. And number 6, Puerto Rico, Estefania Soto. So now, it is my honor and pleasure to present to you the top 5 of Missosology's 69th Miss Universe final hot picks. And in occupying the 5th place is the phenomenal Amanda Obdam of Thailand. Okay. Her preliminary performance has proven that definitely she has the international appeal and the magnetic stage presence. Amanda is marketable, she is relatable, and Thailand is pretty much hungry for the crown, which they last won more than 2 decades ago. Despite the wonderful wardrobes and accessories that they bring every year, Thailand always falls short in capturing the crown and not even a runner-up placement. And if Amanda does everything right on Sunday night, and I emphasize, nail the final Q&A, she might take home the crown, and it will be a momentous victory for the Land of Smiles. Alvin, was it surprising that Amanda is number 5 on the list?
No. Actually, I
Okay.
have already expected that Amanda will go all the way to the top 5.
And
But
I
finishing fourth
emphasize
runner-up,
until the final
it
Q&A.
I see it as
She
a possibility.
Okay. Okay. Now we go to the fourth lady on the spot, and the fourth spot, and she is Romania, Bianca Tursin. And although the pressure is very evident for Bianca to give Romania its first ever placement in Miss Universe, she is unfazed and has given us a spectacular show during the prelims. Miss International and Miss Supranational experiences definitely came in handy as she was a pro on stage. Bianca is intelligent, she's hardworking, she has a good command of the English language, and above all, a breath of fresh air. And I'm sure Stephen would agree. Her her beauty has the universal appeal, and we hope that the chances rest upon her inherent strength and not on the sashway. Okay. In third place, and I know a lot of our viewers are already waiting for this girl to be mentioned. In third place in Missosology's final hot picks is Miss Philippines, Rabia Mateo. Rabia, never mind the negativities that surrounded her over the past days, Rabia's interviews before and during the pageant are proof that she is genuine. She has good rapport with anyone she talks to and works with, and she has proven that she is quick witted, she communicates well, and has a solid stand on issues. And this is what Miss Universe competition is looking for in a winner over the past couple of years. Rabia knows exactly how to present herself on stage, and she was able to show that in the prelims swimsuit performance. And if given the better gown, she could zoom into the top. If you don't want her to win, don't give her the microphone. Okay, now the final two. And back to reclaim her spot in Missosology's top 5 is Miss Peru, Janik Maceta. Janik is the personification of knowing when to peak. And just when we thought that she was losing momentum, Janik gave us a solid prelims performance. Her Beauty Talks interview with Missosology is proof that she can compete head-to-head with the best speakers in the batch, come the all-important Q&A. And this former Miss Supranational runner-up exudes a magnetic charisma which could change the course for Peru in the IMG era Miss Universe. And to put it bluntly, she could actually be your next Miss Universe. So watch out. And now, I think everyone knows who's going to be on the top spot of Missosology's final hot picks for Miss Universe. And she's no other than this lady. Given how she survived COVID-19 and still managed to fly more than 8,000 miles just to represent her country. To represent her country in the biggest pageant stage is enough proof that India's Adeline Castellino is in the game to win the game. Despite the difficult situation that her country is facing due to the pandemic, Adeline still brought her A game in Florida, enchanting everyone with her renewed confidence and unassuming beauty during the prelims. She has the gift of gab, and it perfectly fits the mold of the IMG Endeavor era Miss Universe winner. But for us, her winning moment was the national costume show, where she showcased her true, authentic Indian heart without the need for flashy and humongous costume pieces. There is no doubt among our panel of experts and correspondents that Adeline has what it takes to be the winner, especially with her dedication to the causes that are closest to her heart. And that's it. After several passionate discussions among our team, the choice is Miss India, Adeline Castellino for the 69th Miss Universe. So once again, in 10th place is Miss Jamaica, in 9th place, Costa Rica, in 8th place, Miss Brazil, 7th place, Mexico, 6th place, Puerto Rico. In our top 5, in 5th place, Thailand, Amanda Obdam, 4th place, Romania, Bianca Tursin. In 3rd place is Philippines, Rabia Mateo. In 2nd place is Peru, Janik Maceta, and our top pick for the 69th Miss Universe is Miss India, Adeline Castellino. So just to show you the full banner. This is the first time that we will be debuting. We will be showing our final hot picks for Miss Universe. Here they are. And bubbling up on our list, by the way, is Miss Australia, Iceland, Vietnam, and Great Britain. So that was it. That is Missosology's final hot picks reveal for the 69th Miss Universe. And please share to us your comments. But let's keep it classy, everyone. Banner, this is the first time that we will. So that's it, everyone. So Stephen, Alvin, any last words before we end the live? Just go first with Stephen.
Last words. Beauty pageants are the most beautiful thing. And one of the reasons why we are supporting this and why we are doing this is because we wanted people to have something to look forward to every year. You know, it may be Miss Universe, maybe Miss International, the pageant that I am part of. And this should be an opportunity for us to just enjoy each and everyone's culture, each and everyone's delegate, and to get to know about their country. It should not be a place for us to spread hatred. It should not be a place for us to hate each other. It should not be a place for us to judge another country or another personality. If we are condoning this kind of attitude online, then I don't think that beauty pageants are worth doing anymore. So I hope that we should set aside our differences. Always remember that we are doing this because we wanted to achieve world peace. And it may be so cliche, but that's it. How can we achieve world peace if we ourselves are actually hating each other? So enjoy the show on Sunday night. It will be Monday night here in Japan. And let's just root
Monday morning.
Monday morning. So let's just root for our delegate with dignity, with pride, and forget about the negativities and just enjoy the show. That's it.
Okay. Alvin, how about you?
Oh my gosh. My message is all I can say is root for your candidate without pulling each other down, without destroying other people, because you cannot claim that you are an advocate of anti-bullying if you are using bullying as an attack towards other people. That's wrong. That's very, very wrong. So if you wanted to support your candidate, go support them. But please do it in a more positive way as possible. And for example, the thing about us, for example, for all of us here in Missosology, we wanted to look at all the ladies fairly. So that doesn't mean that I am a Filipino. I will be rooting for Philippines all the way. Because what's the point of looking at all the other candidates? I am proud. I am a very proud Filipino. But I always tell my followers, those who are following me on Instagram, those who are following me on YouTube, that when I make my prediction, I don't have a nationality. Because I wanted to look at the effort of each candidate, of each lady equally, regardless of what sash or what country they're wearing. So, if, as what I said earlier, if you wanted to support your candidate, go for it. But I respect your choice. I'm not asking you to respect my choice because respect is earned and not demanded. But all I can say is, if you throw hatred towards other people, all you can do is to block them because you need to protect your own space.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love that.
The
Protecting
crown
your
is
own
yours.
space.
Amir, give the crown to Alvin.
Amir, are you there? I want to ask you for your final word.
Hi.
Yeah.
I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yes. Your final message, Amir.
I really can't hear you guys. But Drew, if ever man it's working, I can speak. I can give a message at least. I've always wanted to say this. This is just a prediction. This is not the final result. People are overreacting sometimes, but we tend to scrutinize all of this. Our prediction doesn't just mean this is the final result, but this is just based on our analysis, based on what we saw on video, based on what we what we did. Actually, we did research. So yeah, and I just want to, you guys are expressing all the words, kind words. So I just hope to all the viewers, all the fans, especially as I read some comments that Missosology parang pinahiya si Rabia during the Q&A. I feel bad for that. It was never our intention to hurt Rabia. It was never our intention. The platform of Missosology Beauty Talks is to let everyone know these girls beyond the photo shoot, the glam, and because we don't know during the closer interview. So it is never our intention. It is never. And I really, really, really feel bad. And I'm like teary-eyed right now because, when people get bashing to those candidates, this seems to be like perfect individual. Hindi po lahat ay pwede nating sabihin dito, but the thing is, nakakasakit po, nakakasama ng loob, especially sa mga candidates na sinisiraan natin yung kapwa nating candidates din na dapat nang tulungan. I'm speaking Tagalog because I really want to express this. Nalulungkot ako pag mismong kapwa Pilipino ay yung nag-pull down sa candidates. Alam mo kung wala ka na rin lang namang sasabihin hindi maganda, siguro much better na silent na lang. Ang daming pinagdaanan ni Rabia, ang daming pinagdaanan niya, sa lahat ng pinagdaanan niya yun, lahat na ginawa niya, yung kanyang dapat na gawin niya. Pero, not all will be satisfied. And I agree, hindi naman talaga lahat mag-agree yan eh. Pero wag naman po sana nating hilain pababa yung ating kandidata. Nakakalungkot. Dahil ang hirap ng pinagdaanan ng ating candidates na to, especially si Rabia. Kasi, you know what? I'll be honest, sobrang nalungkot ako. Feeling close ako kay Rabia eh. Sobrang nalungkot ako nung time na nakita ko na umiyak siya sa IG niya. Nakakalungkot. Alam mo yon, pero alam ko, she's just trying to express herself. But Rabia, hindi niya kailangan mag-explain. Okay. I just want everyone to realize that Missosology is doing this not because of whatever intention. It's because we want you guys to give, a clear analysis of beauty pageants. Our prediction may be right, may be wrong, but it is our own analysis. So just respect it. And I would like to say thank you to Drew, to Stephen, to Alvin for this opportunity. Alam mo yun, basta, ito lang sasabihin again, ginawa na ni Rabia, gagawin ni Rabia ang lahat eh. So ginawa na niya actually. Ang kailangan niya sa atin is prayers. Prayers lang talaga. Sana imbis na bigyan natin siya ng sama ng loob, let's give him peace of mind. And I'm really sorry for telling this. Actually, this is not scripted. Dito alam na mga kasama ko. Pero all this time, kinikim ko yon. Kasi naiiyak talaga ako. Lalo na nung nakita ko siyang umiiyak, sobrang nasaktan ako noon. Hindi man kami magkaibigan ni Rabia, hindi kami close, pero nararamdaman ko yung nararamdaman niya. Na alam mo yung ginagawa mo yung best mo, pero people will still hurt you, will still backfight you. It's normal actually, pero sana maging mahinahon naman. Okay? And I commend Rabia for being such a strong woman. Sana patuloy lang. And thank you so much, Missosology, for having this opportunity. And yeah, let's just pray. Kahit sino manalo dyan, support tayo. Kung sino man manalo dyan. Kung meron mang biglang papasok na wala sa hot picks namin, we will support that. We will support 100% support that candidate. Kung sino man yun.
We don't know.
Kahit
Because
sino
we don't know
manalo.
what's gonna happen.
But this time around,
finals.
yung prediction na ginawa namin, it's more of analysis lang namin because of the preliminary and all those other considerations. Alvin, thank you. You give me a lot of insights right now. Actually, pwede magbago pa yung prediction ko. You know why? Kasi talagang based lang to sa kanina sa napanood ko. Hindi talaga ako nagtatali, hindi ako nag-list. What I did is just to recall. Ganun lang. Drew, thank you so much.
Well, in connection with what Amir actually said, because this is just really short, Drew. Because this also happened to Bint when she won the Miss Thailand crown in 2019. She received a lot of bash, in the Thai forum, in the Thai social media. We didn't understand that because it's in Thai, so hindi tayo makapag-connect. but she was heavily bashed. Nobody really believed her. Nobody supported her, and she was actually heavily insulted prior to winning the Miss International crown. And when she won, now they were just like, praises and blah and all those stuff. So it's not only limited to the Philippines, but it's also happening in other countries, So that's the reason why I don't subscribe into the idea of actually putting down a delegate simply because they are not he or she is not your favorite. So let's just be positive all the time, because what's the essence of beauty pageant? The essence of beauty pageant is to actually celebrate beauty and to enjoy the whole everything. How can we enjoy it if we are hating each other?
And just like what's on the banner on the screen,
Cheer all women.
borrowing the old. I'm right, Stephen, right? The old tagline of Miss International. Please cheer all women.
Yeah,
and
it's true. It's true. We should be.
Wag na tayong mag-bash, lalo na
Just enjoy the show actually, because nobody knows what's gonna happen on the final night. Really, that's the one thing. What's one thing which is really enjoyable about beauty pageants? We never know what's gonna happen, and things could change.
Yes, and on that note, thank you again, Stephen, Alvin, for joining me and Amir on tonight's very, very meaty discussion of the 69th Miss Universe final hot picks and the prelims review. And it's Alvin, like what I said earlier backstage, it was an honor to finally have you on the show.
Wow.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it as well. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to watch all our previous episodes, please go on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, Missosology coverage. Or if you don't want to see our faces and just want to listen to our episodes, you can go to Spotify or Anchor.fm and stream our podcast. And this has been Drew. And on behalf of Amir, Stephen, and Alvin, thank you very much for joining us on this 1 hour and a half episode. And we do hope to see you again in another surprise episode, hopefully soon. But for now, thank you. And let's enjoy Miss Universe on Sunday night or Monday morning, wherever you are. So, thank you, everyone.
Easy question, I have to say.
Yes, ganyan na ganyan yung itsura niya.
Let's do it!
What the hell? Like, it's me. And you say, oh my God.
They was like, holy deep. What's this going on? Because even now I get like speechless.
Why is it important for a beauty queen to have a good time?
If you do not know how to speak your mind, you're not going to give your organization much credibility for what you're really fighting for.
Beauty queen doesn't mean perfection. Now I feel embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to do it because that's how I am. So I'm not gonna go.
My wave became the Miss International wave. Right, Stephen?
I have become a patent.
Ito naman yung bumaba. Sabi ko, oh my God, kasi nastabi ko ng planet Earth. Tapos pag inaangat ko, hinihila niya. So ako, angat siya.
My travels. I love my travels.
I would just want it to be that I gave something back that made them happy.
Money or love?
Love.